So since I talked about it last night, I thought I would take you guys to the pool. Hi, how are you? It is 10:30 and I have just like a half an hour. Come on, Key. I have a half an hour until I can swim because it closes at 11. So this is our nice little pool. Isn't it so nice? Late at night. And there's like a little deck. See, it's just like a little small community pool, and there's never anybody here unless people bring their kids and stuff. But like today, earlier, I came up and there was only like one other person. And back in here, this is the scary area back in here. But in there, they have like noodles and stuff that you can play with. So, how are you guys doing today? I am having a fantastic day. We got up, and what time is it? I want to make sure I have enough time to swim. We got up and we went to brunch. I didn't bring my phone. We went to brunch at Patashu, and then, oh, there's the clock. It's exactly 10:30. We went to brunch at Cafe Patashu, and then I came home and made videos. Alex watched a couple movies. He's watched like 3 movies today. He's watched Pacific Rim 1 and 2, and then he watched Insidious, and then there was something else that he watched. I guess he watched 4 movies. I got the best blueberry crumble coffee today. It was so good. So that was our day, and then I cleaned the kitchen, and then I just took a nap while he was watching a movie with the dogs. And then I was talking to my neighbor and her boyfriend about different restaurants in Indianapolis we were talking about. And their favorite bar restaurants was like this bar that my grandfather worked at in the 40s. And so I was telling him that he was like one of the original bartenders of this bar in the 40s. But anyway, it is, I know you guys can't see, but it's a beautiful night outside. It is stars everywhere, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I don't see the moon. I don't know where the moon is, but it's really pretty. So I'm going to go for a late night swim and then go put some dry clothes on. And then I think I am going to drive around, do my vlog for a little bit. And I've been waiting to hear from my friend Valerie or Lori, because I think that I'm going to go to the casino tonight. I haven't been in like a week and a half. I don't remember. I actually don't even remember the last time I went, but I have some money that I could take to the casino. So I usually don't go unless I have a little bit of extra money that I can spend, and I have some. So I'm going to go, and I don't know. I'm hoping to see if one of them is there. If one of them is not going, I probably won't go to the casino. I'll probably just listen to my audiobook, because if you go to my Peter Likes Books channel, I did a book haul today, and I literally bought like 7 or 8 new books on Audible because they were having a July 4th sale. So I've got to finish this book that I'm reading right now, which is called Meddling Kids. It's really good, though. It kind of just started getting really good. And so anyway, I had a fantastic day today, and now I'm going to dive into the pool. So I'll see you guys later. Hello. I'm going to drive for a second. Dry off. Before I go home and change my clothes. I'm getting my hair cut tomorrow. I'm so thankful. I also need to trim my nails tonight. They're really long. Here's the rest of my blueberry crumble coffee from this morning that is so delicious. I was talking to my neighbors. I was talking to my neighbors, and I was like, now how old are you guys? And he's 25 and she's 24, and their boyfriend, girlfriend. And I was thinking to myself about like coming up here and going swimming then when I got in the pool with my mom, you know, and like that would have been 20 years ago, 21 years ago, because it was after I was sober. And I was like, my God, these guys would have been like 2 and 3 years old, you know? And it's so weird how like, just like, honestly, the whole idea of like time flying is so true. Like, you don't think about it when you're living it. But I do more now. Like, I think a lot about, like, where will I be 5 years from now? What will my life look like? Where will I be 10 years from now? You know, because Alex and I, now that this is our 10th year together, and I've really been reflecting a lot about where we were 10 years ago in our lives, where he was, where I was, and really so much that's changed in 10 years, like what our lives look like now, and what's changed, you know, in the last 10 years. And just the fact that we've been together 10 years is crazy. And so there are moments where it seems like it was just yesterday, and there are moments where it seems like it was a long time ago. And I would have to say that the majority of the time, it feels like it's been a really long time. Like 10 years has been a really long time, you know? When I think about, like, my mom being gone, it feels like my mom has been gone for a long time. It doesn't just feel like, it doesn't just feel like it was yesterday. It feels like it's been a long time. Sometimes it feels like it was yesterday, but very rarely anymore, you know? When I think about the fact that I had just left, you know, this 13-year career, like, that seems like forever ago. Like, me working there, like, even when I pass it these days, I just, like, it feels like nobody that I knew back then, with the exception of 1 or 2 people, still works there, and they're working there in a completely different capacity. So it feels like eons since I've been there. And, you know, when you look at life that way, I think then and you really appreciate the smallness of it, and you make, you know, you make a point of, like, I was talking about gratitude today on my Peterisms channel. When you make a point of just really appreciating every moment of every day, or you do your best, you know? I mean, like, listen, not everybody's gonna be like, I'm so thankful. I mean, that's just bullshit. We're not gonna just live our lives like that. I mean, let's be for real, right? We're not gonna just live every moment of every day with gratitude. I mean, that would be fantastic, but that's just not gonna happen. But if we live the majority of our lives, like, I'm gonna make the best of today that I possibly can. I'm gonna, you know, really, you know, enjoy today. Now, I will say, like, I've caught myself at times when I'm, like, in a really shitty mood. And, you know, last night would be probably a good example of this. It's like, because somebody said, I think the reason why when you were in the pool, it was able for you to unwind. And what they said was true in the comment. But at the same time, it's like, for me, I think it puts it all in perspective for me. And it's like, I don't want to give away a day of my life to, you know what I mean? Like, it's like that saying that I try to say on a daily basis, you know, of today is the beginning of a new day. I can do with it what I wish. You know, it's like I can use it for good, or I can use it for harm. What do you want to use today for? What do you want to make the most of it? And like, I'm really at a point in my life, especially with people who are leaving this world, where I want to really appreciate all of those things. I really want to, you know, and I want to work harder at doing that. Now, I shared this on my Peterisms channel, so I'm going to share it on here. I've kind of got away from doing my gratitude list in the last month. Not every day, but, like, I've started skipping a lot. And I just get home, and it's late, and I'm tired, and I've done the vlog, and I've listened to my audiobook or something, and I'm just tired, and I want to go to bed, so I go to bed. And then while I'm laying in bed, I go through, like, a gratitude list in my head, which is still the same to some degree. But I really think me getting away from writing it down, did I leave my phone there? Okay. Me getting away from writing it down has kept me from really seeing it on paper, written down, like, the importance of these things, if that makes sense. And so I'm going to get back to doing a written gratitude list. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy, like, a composition book tonight. I've got a bunch of them at the house. I'm not going to buy one, but I'm going to start it tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to, on the first page, I'm going to make a list of, like, everything that I'm grateful for that's consistent in my life. The things that are going to repeat themselves, you know, like Alex, my marriage, my dogs, my house, my health, my car, those kinds of things, you know. I'm gonna, you know, write all of that down on one list that I have at the beginning. And then every day going forward, I'm gonna write down 2 or 3 things that are specific that have happened that day. And I had said at one point that I was gonna maybe, because what had happened was I was starting to just repeat the same things over and over and over on paper, and it started to not feel like it had a lot of meaning to me. Like, yes, I was grateful for it, but not like how I had felt when I first started doing it. Because when I first started doing it, I was really thinking about what I wanted to put down, but then after a while, it just became, I was writing down the same things. So I want to have all of those things down there because those are things that I'm grateful for, and then I can read those on a daily basis. But then I want to pick 2 or 3 things that have happened throughout the day that I'm truly grateful for, you know? Like, truly grateful. Like, today, being able to spend an hour with my husband at brunch and having just a really great conversation, you know? Or I got so much accomplished today. You know, I cleaned up around the house. I got a lot of stuff done. I made lemonade. I put all the purification water bottles in there for Alex. I got a lot of stuff done. I made videos. I had a really great day today. I feel really good when I get a lot accomplished. So today I would be grateful for getting a lot accomplished. And then, you know, taking a night swim, because I don't always do that. And actually, when I was in the pool, I was thinking to myself that the last couple years, I always say, I'm gonna go, and then I never go for these night swims. And I went to the pool actually twice today. I went earlier too, but I don't. And then August comes around and I'm like, I'm gonna go. I haven't gone every day, so I'm gonna go every day for the month of August, and then I only go like 3 days. And then the whole summer I don't really use the pool, and then I get real sad about it. Well, this year I've used the pool quite a bit. So, you know, I'm grateful for the fact that I went to the pool twice today, because it was relaxing and it was nice, you know? I had such a positive outlook on the world and on life today from the moment that I got up. It was almost kind of like I was refreshed yesterday. Something refreshed me, because I just woke up and I just felt so blessed about the world and just looking at everything in the world. I don't know, I just felt in such a great space all day today. And, yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I mean, nothing like really severe happened today. There wasn't anything of mass importance that happened in my life today. But it was a good day, and I think, you know, my very first sponsor used to say to me, any day that you're not 6 feet under and you're still breathing is a good day. And I've had some shit days, but they're better than that. You know, they're better than being 6 feet under and not breathing. So, you know, he was right on some level. I think, like, we have to remember how much worse our lives could be, and that's where gratitude comes in, you know? And I know people here, they get so sick and tired of hearing people say, well, if you know, like, if there are, you know, dying children and all this kind of stuff, and it's like, but I'm so far removed from that. Okay, but that is a reality for somebody, and I have to remember that, you know? So on a completely different note, can I just tell you that I am obsessed with Twin Peaks, okay? I'm halfway through the new season, the reboot of it, and I'm so completely lost, but it's starting to kind of come together. I am legit so obsessed with it. Kyle MacLachlan, is that how you pronounce it? Kyle MacLachlan? I can't remember. But anyway, okay, first of all, I will say this. So what was her name? Julie Cruz, back in the day, that did all the music for Twin Peaks. I mean, I like all of the new artists. They had the 9 Inch Nails on, they had 9 Inch Nails on there. I about died. Okay, because I am a huge 9 Inch Nails fan. But, when, back in the day on Twin Peaks, they used to always have the same musician, and her name was Julie Cruz. And her name was Julie, J-U-L-E. And I loved her so much, but like, now they have a lot of different artists, and they end at the Roadhouse like every episode, and it's always some like band, which I like that they're exposing different musicians, but at the same time, like, I miss Julie Cruz so bad. And I'm kind of wondering why there's a lot of people that aren't in it that I wonder why aren't they in it. Where's Sherilyn Fenn? Why is Sherilyn Fenn not in it? So Sherilyn Fenn played Audrey in the original Twin Peaks, and I like want her to be in it so bad. I like every episode, I'm like, is Sherilyn? I thought for sure she was coming back. And also the girl that played Donna, why can't I think of her name? Laura Palmer's best friend. I thought her, Sherilyn Fenn, and Madgen Amick, who was in this Witches movie. Do you remember that Witches TV show? Alex watched every episode of that until it was over. But, like, she's in it. but the other two aren't. And I'm like, I can remember seeing them on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine when Twin Peaks originally came out, and they were all naked standing there. Do you remember seeing that? Oh my God, it was such a great cover. But they were like all three holding each other. There were so many people in it. Oh my God, Bobby is in it, and he looks like me. He's like grown up. It's like so weird to see Bobby in it as a police officer. I don't know. I'm loving it, and it's so weird because it makes me feel like I watched it 25 years ago. I was thinking to myself, okay, so that would have been when I was 20 years old. That totally makes sense. I remember watching it in my dad's house, and I remember I would watch it, and then my friend Jenny and I would call each other, and we fell in love with David Lynch. You know, Blue Velvet and Lost Highway, but Wild at Heart was my favorite. But we were huge Twin Peaks fans, huge. And I even have either the entire series on DVD or VCR. I don't remember, but I have one. I think it's VCR because it's like really long. I also have the entire series of, My So-Called Life with Claire Danes. I loved that show too on MTV. And I think that must have come out like right at when I would have been around that age. Well, a couple years older than that. My So-Called Life was one of my favorite shows of life. And on the box set that I own, they have the Halloween edition, which isn't usually included in the box set, and it's probably one of the best episodes ever, except for when the parents go out of town and they're all at Angela's house for the weekend. That's probably my favorite episode. And then there was a show too back in the day called Popular that was really, really good. And the main star, like one of the main stars of that show, ended up being the wife, or is the wife, of Melissa Etheridge. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? Oh my God. She was so fantastic in that show. So if you ever can find this show called Popular, it is really good. Or if you've never heard of, My So-Called Life, you've got to watch it. It's so good. It's about this girl in high school, and she used to be like real preppy and normal, and now she's kind of like edgier, and it's like her between two friend groups, and it really reminded me a lot of who I was in high school. But Twin Peaks, if you're gonna watch Twin Peaks, you gotta watch the first 2 seasons that were ever put out. It's on Netflix. You can go back and watch it. I think it would also make a lot of sense to watch the movie after that called Fire Walk with Me, which was kind of like the concluding movie, and then watch this series finale, because it is really that good. And at first I was kind of like, you know, I think we're so used to TV shows being like this quick that I kind of was worn out by it. But now I'm like falling in love with the like the pacing of the TV show. I forgot how David Lynch is. I mean, he paces things very, very slow, and it's not necessarily to build suspense. I think it's to enter the world of David Lynch is really what it is. Because all of his stuff is, it's like where somebody will say something like, are you going to eat that peanut butter sandwich? And then the other person just kind of looks at the peanut butter sandwich, and then they say like 10 seconds later, no. Do you want my peanut butter sandwich? And then it's like the pacing is so weird, but it's so fantastic. So, well, all right, you guys, I'm going to go in and change, and then I will be back in just a little while. Bye. All right, I'm on my way to Walmart right now. I went home and I changed my shirt, did my hair, got cleaned up, put on some Chanel blue, talked to my husband for a little bit. I said, I'm going to Walmart to get some things. Do you need anything? Do you ever do this to your husband or wife or partner or whatever? And he said, well, yeah, I'd like to get some burritos and string cheese. And I said, no, he goes, I want some burritos. And I go, it's 11 o'clock at night. What do you want burritos for? And he goes, I'm hungry. And I go, Alex, you're going to eat like frozen burritos at 11 o'clock at night? And he's like, what's the big deal? And I'm like, he goes, okay, well then string cheese. And I said, I will bring you burritos and string cheese, but you will sit up and eat them. He was like, no, I'm going to take it for lunch tomorrow. I said, okay, that's better. People always ask how my husband lost so much weight. Burritos and string cheese. No. He does love those frozen burritos though. And I will tell you, like, his snacking has changed a lot since he's lost it. I mean, he's kind of on a maintenance thing now. But he eats those veggie chips. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like if he's wanting potato chips, he'll eat the veggie chips. And then he also eats that, like, I think it's called Smart Pop, that popcorn that comes in, it's like, you know, popcorn, but it's like real low cal. I don't know what it is, but it's called Smart Pop, I think. And then, I should know, I'm always the one getting it at the grocery store. And then he, like, if he's hungry, he'll go get like 2 pieces of string cheese and then drink water and have like a handful of veggie chips. Like, he's really changed a lot in how he snacks. Which, yes, it's still, I mean, I know we should have fruits and vegetables at our house. We don't, I know. We should, I know. If I had fruits and vegetables in my house, he still wouldn't eat them. Alex is not somebody that will just like grab a banana and eat it. He's just not, or an apple, you know? Because back in the day, when we first got together, I was a vegetarian when we first got together too. And I had been for like 2 years. And I had lots of, like, I would always have fruit in the house. And he just really wasn't, like, he would never, like, I'd be like, do you want me to, like, you know, do you want a pear? Do you want an apple? He was like, no, not really. Do you eat chips? And, yeah, it's his fault. I started getting chips and cookies, or no, it's not. It's not his fault at all. I'm actually getting a little hungry myself because we ate brunch, and really, I got an omelet and a bagel and potatoes. And, oh my God, and then this, did I throw it away? That blueberry coffee, it was so, crumble coffee, it was so good. But I ended up only eating half of my brunch. Well, I ate the omelet, but I didn't eat, I only ate half the bagel and half the, not even half the potatoes, so I brought them home. But I'm hungry, but I'm not really hungry for that. I don't know what I'm really hungry for, honestly. So I'm vlogging now while I go to Walmart, and then afterwards I'm gonna go and, my friend Valerie texted me and she said that, she was like, what time are you going to the casino? Which in casino language, did I already say this? In casino language means, okay, I'll meet you there. We just cut out the middleman. We just cut out the middleman chat. There's no reason for all that chat, you know, we just have the conversation. I'm wanting to buy this little, okay, I know everybody's gonna be like, oh, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? My husband's already asked me that too. I wanna buy this little HP notebook. It's what I wrote my last book on. And the keyboard, I was so comfortable with the keyboard on it. I'm not comfortable on the Mac keyboard writing. Like, it's not a comfortable key. And Alex is like, well, then get an exterior keyboard. And I'm like, I'm just gonna buy this HP. They have it at Walmart. I looked it up online. They have it online in purple, but it's real small. It's like this big, and it comes with a year of office on it. So I think I'm gonna get it just for writing my books that I'm working on, and I'm gonna like put all the files over there because I'm just really struggling with writing on the Mac right now. I don't love it. And so I'm just gonna take the files and I can upload them onto the notebook, and then I can write my book straight on the notebook, and then the notebook can be just for my writing. And I think it will also, this is where my controlled like OCD mind comes in, I think it will also help me because it will, like, all of my writing will just be there. All of my research will be on that computer. Like, I can just research it, keep it on the computer in files, and I can just take everything off of the Mac, everything off that I have like in external drives, and like I can just put it on there and leave it on there. So I'm going to Walmart to look for that, and I'm also looking for like some note cards that I want to get, and I think that's about it. I mean, oh, and burritos and string cheese too for my husbando. I don't know what kind of burritos and string cheese he wants, but I haven't been to Walmart in a long time. I usually go to the Meijer these days because it's just nicer, but I know that the Walmart has this computer that I want, so I want to see if they have it there. It's like $99 or $199, I can't remember, but I looked it up online and it was it was like $214 marked down to $199, and I was like, okay, that's the one I had before. It's like the exact one, and I was like, so if they have, I think they had one here, and it was like $299. If it's $299, I'm not getting it. I'm getting the $199 one, and so if they don't have it here, then I'm just gonna order it online tonight. Tonight, I'm gonna order it. Oh my God, the yellow light is on. I wonder why. I haven't even, like, vlogged in forever, so. If it cuts off, I'm just gonna say, I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'm going to Walmart, and then when I come back from Walmart shopping, I will be back, and yeah. Oh, it's a beautiful evening tonight. It's 81 outside. It's like a perfect summer evening. Oh my gosh, last night when I went over to Tanya's, did I say I went over to Tanya's last night? I don't know if I did or not, but anyway, was that last night that I got her? Mm-hmm. Yeah, last night when I went to go get Tanya, she told me to stop by the kennel because she was working there late. And so I said, well, do you want me to bring you a fountain pop? She said, yeah, and so I got her. She gets a half Diet Coke and a half Coke, so you have to fill it half and half, right? Like, she drinks the big fountain pops. I always drink, like, the 32 ounce. She drinks, like, the 44 ounce. And she never finishes it, and then it's always just, like, sitting, like, in the refrigerator or on the countertop, right? So I was like, when I was there, I was like, I have been craving, like, what's it called? Oh, God, why can't I think of these? You know those ice drinks? What are those? You guys are like Peter. You know, you drink them in the slushy. I was craving a slushy. So the other day when I was at the gas station, there was this girl in front of me, and she had gotten this slushy, and you could tell that she had, like, put, like, different flavors on top of each other, and it looked so pretty. And so I tried to do it, and it just all mushed together. It was just a big mess. So nothing works for me. Nothing works for me. I wanted it to look so pretty like hers, and it just didn't. So, but I ended up getting... I put a little blue raspberry in the bottom of it, but I ended up getting this one called Sweet Cheeto, and I swear to God, it tasted like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch, like that cereal. Do you guys remember that? And it was too much. I sat there and drank it, and like every time I drank it, I was like this. And Tanya goes, do you not like it? And I said, it's just a lot. It's very, very sweet and sugary. And so finally, when she wouldn't try it. And so don't you hate that when you say to your friends, like, try this? And they're like, no, I don't want to. Come on, try it, try it. No, I don't want to. And so finally, when we were walking out, she tried it. And I was like, what do you think? And she's like, oh, it's too much. It's too much. Oh, please tell me that they are not closed. I will be so through if I go into the Walmart and they are closed. Anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna run into the Walmart and I will be back in just a little bit. Bye. Okay, my shopping at Walmart is over. You guys, I went on a major haul. I spent like $700 at Walmart. No, I'm totally joking, but I wish I could. I spent $70 and I really bought the bare necessities. Well, $70 and then I bought the computer because they had the computer that I wanted. It was kind of like a sweet night at Walmart tonight. It was like, I actually ran into Tanya's husband when I was walking out. I was like, where's Tanya? And he's like, she's at the kennel finishing up some stuff. And we were at our, they were at their cousins all day long. And so it was just kind of like, small town Walmart tonight, which I love so much, you know. And there were like all these couples in there, these like older couples and like college age kids that were like running around together, couples. And I think it's this is gonna sound so bad. I think like that kind of Walmart to me, where it's just kind of like you're walking around, you're looking at stuff, is like the reason why I like small towns. Like Midwest, I mean, Indianapolis isn't small, but the suburbs are, you know, like, that's just appealing to me, you know, just, I don't know, people laughing, people walking around, not real serious, nothing deep really going on, I don't know, I feel like that's what it's all about, you know, and, so I got Alex burritos. I texted him, I said, what kind of burritos do you want? He was like, bean and beef spicy. So I got him these long ones. And then I got him string cheese, which took me forever to find. And then I got him a big bag of veggie chips, even though he didn't ask for it. He goes through them like crazy. And then I bought 2 new lip scrubs that were like real cheap. They were like $3 each, but one was like this brown sugar lip scrub, and I love brown sugar anything. So I got that. And then the other one was mint, and I've never had a mint lip scrub. So I got those, and then I got toothpaste, and then I went and I looked at the computers. They had the exact computer that I wanted, and I got it in purple. I got it, I'm so excited, I got it in purple. So I'm gonna have to either, I don't have a lot of time tomorrow because we're going over to our friend's house who just recently had a baby tomorrow night for dinner with her and her husband. So we're having dinner at like 5:30, so I don't know what time like I have a lot of stuff to do. I'm getting my hair cut tomorrow. I've got all kinds of stuff to do during the day, so I think I'll have time to like transfer all my files over. So that will probably be a Tuesday or Wednesday thing. And then I walked, oh my God, this guy, he was so nice, but you know, like, I know I come across sometimes as a little like, okay, I don't have time for this, but like, I'm really not like that in person. Like, I really kind of have the patience of a saint when dealing with like strangers. And I mean, it's really something I've worked on through the years. So this guy, like, as he's checking me out, like he's in the computer section, which of course is dead at midnight on a Sunday night, right? And he's like, so have you ever seen like, and he's like, you can tell he's like real artsy. And he's like not artsy, I don't know how to explain. He had like these, like those Jenko pants on. Do you remember those from back in the day? And he's just like into all this computer stuff. And he's like, so what are you buying the computer for? And I was like, oh, like this book that I'm working on and stuff. He's like, are you artistic? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, do you like to draw? And I go, yeah, sometimes. I'm the world's worst drawer in the entire drawer. I do not draw well, okay? Not at all. I'm horrible at it. And I took classes in college. I took drawing classes because I wanted to be like this artist, but I can remember I'm a horrible artist, okay? I aspire to be an artist, but I'm not. Let's just put it that way. Like, so anyway, he was like, have you ever seen he goes, have you heard of a 3D printer? And I go, yeah. He goes, have you ever seen a 3D pen? And I go, no. And so he goes, well, I'm not allowed to walk off the floor, but let me show it to you. And he whips out his phone and he pulls up this YouTube video. It was actually really cool what he showed me. It was like this guy building this tree, and it's like this pin, and it looks like it has like Play-Doh or something that comes out of it. I don't know, but he's like showing it to me, like how this guy builds it. He's like, it comes with a lot. I'm like, well, how does that stuff come out of the end of it? And he's like, well, it comes with a lot of filament. You would really be surprised. I'm sitting here having this conversation at midnight. I'm like really just wanting to go and like get my shit done so I can get out of here and go to the casino. And I'm like, oh, really? This is really cool. He's like, yeah. He's like, it's really upgraded my artistic thing. So I'm like, well, what kind of stuff do you do with it? And then he started telling me all this stuff. I was like, that's really cool, actually. So if you guys are artistic and you haven't seen these 3D pens, you should check them out, because he said they're not expensive. He goes, they're really not expensive for what you get, and the filament lasts forever. So it looks like a big, thick, like pen, and then you just kind of like draw it on paper, and you go over and over it with it, and it kind of like builds it up. It's very cool. So anyway, he was showing me that, and then I got my computer, and then I went and I bought a bunch of packaging stuff that I need to have to send stuff out. And I was gonna look at the candle waxes, but today I was like, Peter, you're not buying any more candle waxes until you have like used all of these candle waxes. Oh my God, the school stuff is out already, you guys. I'm so sad about it. Like, seriously, it's like the first week of July and all of the school stuff is out. Is it time for school to be back in session? I am not prepared for that, back in session. I'm not ready for school to be back. I'm just not. But okay, so I have to tell you that, like, now that I'm watching Twin Peaks again, I forgot, like, really, and this is not about Twin Peaks, so I mean, it is, but it isn't. I forgot what the allure of all of that stuff was to me, like, of, like, the David Lynch shows. You know, he talks a lot in there about, like, alternate realities and alternate worlds. And in this season of Twin Peaks, he really does, but in the past seasons, he does too. It always starts off very normal, and then it goes out. I think it's, Blue Highway. It's either Blue Highway or, no, Blue Highway. It's either Blue Velvet or Lost Highway, where the guy is at a party, and he looks at him and he says, I'm in your house right now. I don't know if you guys remember that scene, but it completely just scared the hell out of me when I saw that scene. Because I kind of believe in a lot of that stuff, like alternate realities and, you know, 2 dimensions, 3 dimensions. I don't know what I'm even saying right now, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, I kind of believe in a lot of that stuff, that there's like different dimensions out there. And I'm not big into reading science fiction, but if you want to read a book about that, that it's interesting but kind of told in layman's terms, is Blake Crouch, who actually wrote Wayward Pines, which was a really good TV show. But he wrote a book 3 years ago called Dark Matter. It was fantastic, and it was about alternate universes and realities. And it's very interesting to me, that whole kind of idea about it. And as Twin Peaks kind of like unfolds, it like talks more and more about it. But what I like about this season is that it kind of explains how it all started as well. And I don't know, it's super interesting to watch. And know, what do you think about all that stuff? A couple years ago, I started having this thing that was really weird that would happen, and it would be like, you know, I usually wake up like that. When the alarm goes off, I wake up like that. But something would happen where I would wake up. I think I've talked about this actually on here before. I would wake up slowly. And as I would wake up, my dreams would start slowing down. Like if I was still in my dream, but like I could hear the alarm from far away, like it was behind a door, I would start waking up slowly. And as I started waking up slowly, my dreams would slow down, almost to the point, like, you know, those flip books where you like flip them real fast and then like it shows like the guy running, but like each picture is just him still, but if you flip them all together, it like it makes it look like he's running. It was almost kind of like that, slowed down until it was just a stopped picture, and then I would wake up. That happened to me a couple times, and I have to be honest, like it really freaked me out when that shit happened to me, because I was like, what is this? Like, are we nothing but our memories? Is that all we are, or just our thoughts? And I don't really like going there. I used to have this big fear of, you know, talk a lot about spirituality and all that kind of stuff, and I do believe in an afterlife, but I don't know. Like, there could be nothing after all of this. I mean, we don't know. There's no proof, you know? Even these people that say that they've had near-death experiences, which is extremely interesting to me. I mean, we don't know if there's any truth to that. You know what I mean? I used to have this fear, and I would lay in bed at night. I mean, this was when I was with Alex, so it couldn't have been too long ago. And I would really get very freaked out about it, where I would, what time is it? Okay, where I would, it's 12:27, it's not too late. I would be laying there in bed, and I would start thinking about, like, well, what if there is nothing else except for just total darkness? Like, that's it for eternity, right? And it would, like, see, I'm getting kind of weird. Like, I just got like a chill on this side of me as I thought about it, because it's like, well, then this is all we have. And I know that a lot of people believe that. I know atheists believe that. And, you know, I've actually had a lot of friends of mine that are atheists as almost a religion, if that makes sense. Like, they like the idea of being back as part of the earth and things like that. But, you know, it like, that's a lot of where my fear of death would come from. This just, that there is finality to what this is about. And, you know, it was interesting because I was watching this movie the other day. Well, I talked about it on here, 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Everybody should watch this movie. It's so well done. But a character in there kills himself, and this is, I'm not ruining it for you because I'm not going to tell you who it is, but a character kills himself and leaves a note. And in the note says something to the effect of, like, if there is something, then, you know, I'll see you later. If not, then it's been kind of a great ride. And, you know, I think to some degree, like, that has to be, I don't know, like, I don't know that I think that that's a horrible attitude for me. I can't speak for anybody else, but for me to take in my life is to look at things as like, you know, live your life, Peter, as if there is an afterlife, as if there is something else after this, okay? But with that in mind, also live your life as if there is nothing else. And for me, that's not a free ride, you know, of just saying, you know, a free pass just by saying, well, you can be a complete asshole then because there's no judgment at the end. Which that gets into kind of religiosity. I don't want to get into that. But do you know what I mean? Like, if there is nothing after this, then you can be a shit person as you want to be. Which is interesting because the majority of the atheists that I have known in my life do not perceive the world that way. They perceive it as, then they have to answer to themselves and they are their highest judgment. And those are usually some of the most morally steadfast people that I've ever known, are people that have no spiritual beliefs outside of that. And I've had a couple atheists say to me, atheism is a spiritual belief, you know? So when you think of it from that terms, it's like you have to be the best version of yourself for you, for your family, for your children, for community, for society. Not for this God, you know? But if you do believe in some kind of spiritual higher power, then you want to be the best version of yourself as well. And so I think when you come into it from both angles, like I do kind of, I think that I don't know, like, it's like, well, if there's an afterlife, then I hope there is, and I want to be the best possible version of myself that I can be. I love the movie, by the way, Judgment Day. Is that what it's called? Judgment? It's with Meryl Streep. I can't remember. Defending Your Life. It's called Defending Your Life. It's fantastic. And they go to Judgment City. Oh my God, it's so good. I can't think of that guy that's in it. He is a hilarious actor. But anyway, so if there is, that's great. But if there's nothing, and this is just it, then I've got to make the most of my life now, and I've got to make each day count. And I've got to be appreciative of it, and I've got to live to the best moral standard that I possibly can. You know what I mean? I've got to be the best version of myself, because really, ultimately, I'm doing that to contribute to the world, to contribute to society while I'm here, to contribute to my family and my friends, and be that person, you know? And I was thinking about that with my uncle. Like, my uncle was just such a decent human being. He was such a great guy, you know? And he was involved in church from time to time, but I wouldn't say that he was an overly religious person, overly spiritual. I don't remember ever having a spiritual or religious conversation with him, not once. But he was a good man, you know? He was a good person. He was a person of character. And I think that for me, that is ultimately my driving force, is to be that person. But I still get kind of weirded out about what's going to happen when it's all, you know, said and done at the very end. And David Lynch and all these shows kind of plays off that a little bit. So y'all should watch it. It's good. But what do you guys think about that? Do you believe that there are some kind of alternate realities out there, alternate universes? I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It's fun. It's those kind of conversations late at night, though, are the ones that'll keep you up all night long. I have to be very careful having those conversations. So. Well, all right, you guys, I'm going to take my burritos home for Alex before they melt, because they're already melting back there. And they're frozen. They're delicious. I don't know. I don't eat them. But anyway, and well, I did. The other day, he brought me a bean and cheese frozen burrito, and it was nasty. But anyway, I am going to, it was that Annie's. I didn't love it. I'm going to go and upload this vlog, and then I'm going to go, if it's not too late, by the time I get that done, to go meet my friend, Valerie. So I love you guys, and I will see you later. Bye.